Good morning. I am Dr. Fred L. Nance Jr., and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about, or this morning, I want to talk about domestic terrorism and American insurrection. SRN News, the so-called Christian right, Pastor Jeffries, Senators Graham, Gates, Rubio, and McCarthy, along with other Republican supporters of terrorism and insurrection, do not believe in America and the right to life. Do you see them reporting news or denouncing QAnon, white supremacy, racism, and their supporters and crew who attempted an insurrection? Do you hear them talking about or reporting news on domestic terrorism promoted by Trump and his followers? No, America. You do not hear these so-called Christian representatives denouncing QAnon and their followers bringing guns in the Capitol building. What would Jesus do? I have been a Christian for 30 years. I am not perfect. America, if you are not denouncing domestic terrorism, QAnon, insurrection, then you are not a Christian. You are not an American. You are a terrorist and an insurrectionist yourself. Republicans, if you are not a Christian, if you are a Christian, start denouncing the domestic terrorism and insurrectionists in the Congress holding their fellow congressmen and women hostage, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, holding an AR-15 with pictures in the background of fellow congresswomen. Do you hear SNR News reporting or denouncing this act of terrorism? No, you do not. Because they don't care. And if they don't care, how can they say that they're against domestic terrorism and insurrectionists? It would make one believe that they support these people. What are we going to do about them, America? We cannot have domestic terrorism in our Congress. We cannot have insurrectionists in our Congress. We cannot have individuals that think that they don't have to go through metal detectors like we do in airports, in federal buildings. If they don't have to follow the law, why do we, America, have to follow laws? What are our laws for? That is the question. Domestic terrorism will go on if these so-called Christians do not report these things, especially SRN News. I listen to them like I listen to other news programs. I have not heard them say anything about domestic terrorism and QAnon. I have not heard them denouncing these people. If they're not denouncing them, one can assume that they are supporting them. Have a good day.